Today I'm telling a story time of when one of my friends got into a school fight with another one of my somewhat friends. This story time is a pretty crazy one, so sit back, relax, and get ready for this one because this one's gonna be a crazy one. So this all starts off 2 years ago when I was in year 9. I would have been 15 years old at the time, and so the two people involved in this story time, we'll call one of them Noah and one of them Daniel. So Daniel is one of my closest friends, and he still is one of my friends to this day, and Noah he's not really the best of guys. Noah is basically the school bully, right? Like he'll go around picking on people that don't deserve it. Like even the quiet kids at the back, like he'd end up just like throwing stuff at them in class. Like he's basically the guy who sit with in class and he'll basically just start throwing stuff at people and just start like yelling and shouting and just making random noises for no reason, just trying to be funny. Even though nobody laughs at him, like he'll just continue to do stuff like that for literally no reason at all. Basically, Noah was a jackass, right? Like he was really annoying and no one really liked him. But people pretended to be his friend because for some reason he was popular or whatever, and you know, for some reason people value like high school status over everything, which is so stupid in my opinion because like when you leave high school, all that status is just gonna go away. Like being friends with this kid Noah really wasn't gonna do much once like everyone leaves school. But anyway, rant aside, Noah was basically just like a dickhead, right? Now Noah for some reason decided like one day randomly when I was in year 9 to just start randomly harassing Daniel. Like he'd start pushing him around and all this sort of stuff. Like it started off with him just like calling him names and just calling him gay and all this sort of stuff, and just basically just calling him like basic insults, which at the time I just sort of thought as like I thought it was just like friendly banter or whatever. It was just a little bit of fun, and you know, I'm pretty sure Daniel saw that as well, because every time we talked about it, he's like, yeah, Noah's such an idiot, bro. Like he keeps calling me gay or whatever. Like it's so stupid, but it's so funny. I'm like, yeah, I guess it is kind of funny. Like he's just going around being stupid. But then for some reason, this ends up going from just like friendly banter and you know just like friendly talking names or whatever, and it ends up coming to a point where Noah just starts pushing Daniel around. Now this is the point where I sort of stepped in. I'm like, yo, is this kid is he really doing this? Like are you actually alright with this? He's like, yeah, bro, it's still friendly, you know, it just is what it is. Now me personally, I didn't really see it as friendly. Like it's one thing to start like insulting people randomly and just like calling them names or whatever. I really don't care. But if you're putting physical violence into it, then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, buddy, like you gotta chill out. And Noah was really the guy who would start off like insulting you like verbally, and then if it got to a point where you weren't fazed by it, he'd start like pushing you around to just try and get a reaction out of you. Which, by the way, if you're gonna take something away from this video, don't be like Noah, okay? Don't just go around harassing random people for no reason. Like that, there's no reason to start pushing people around. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention is that Noah is actually a year level above us, but it was so bad in school, like he got such low grades that he literally got held back a year. He was that bad at his schoolwork, like he literally got single-digit percentages on every single exam and every single test that he got, so he literally had to get held back a year. So that was already crazy enough, right? Like it was already a drop kick as it is, but now he's just going around like harassing the year level below him, which is so stupid and so annoying, by the way. So where this all really starts off is in August, right? So it was just a Thursday morning, you know, everything was alright. Me and Daniel catch the same bus, so we ended up walking into school, basically on the same bus, and we got there at about like 8:40. So we both walk into school, we both start talking for a little bit, just about some like random crap. We were playing Fortnite the night before, so we were just talking or whatever. And then all of a sudden, right, I see Noah out the corner of my eye. So Noah walks into the building, and I could instantly tell for some reason that he was just in a bad mood. He looked at me and like smiled a little bit, but you know, it's that like condescending smile, you know what I mean? Like it's the smile of you're an idiot and I hate you. So he walks over to me, he's like, yo, what's up, Ricky? And he says a bunch of homophobic slurs that I can't say in this video because I'd probably end up getting demonetized. But then he goes over to Daniel, he's like, yeah, what's up? And he says the same thing, but then he ends up just like screaming it at him and then just like pushes him into the locker. And I'm like, yo, Noah, chill out, like what's wrong with you? He's like, nah, bro, Daniel's gay, like I don't like him and all this sort of stuff. And he just starts absolutely going off at him for no reason at all. I'm like, okay, like chill out then. Now something that's also important, right, is that Daniel has like really long hair. Like he has longer hair than I do. If you guys have seen my main channel videos, which I'm guessing you have, you guys know what my hair looks like. It's a little bit longer. It goes down past my ears. Daniel's is a lot longer than that, and basically about a week ago before this, he got a haircut, so he cut his hair back like above his ears. So he had a pretty like noticeable like shift in appearance, I guess you could say. So Noah starts talking shit about Daniel for that. He's like, yo, you look ugly, bro. Like your haircut's awful. like, who did that? I bet your mum did that. Like, that's such a bad haircut, bro. Like, that's embarrassing. And then Daniel steps up. He's like, yo, Noah, you are literally the fattest kid in the class. Like you cannot talk about appearance at all. You look like a bowling ball, bro. If I picked you up with 3 fingers, I could bowl a strike. And I'm like, yo, Daniel, like, Jesus, chill out. Like, you don't gotta go on him so hard. Now, Noah wasn't the skinniest person in the world, right? Like, I'll be honest, he did eat a little bit much, and he did gain a little bit of weight. So that was probably, like, as soon as I heard that, I started dying laughing. Like, imagine telling someone that their hair sucks, and then you get hit right back with, I could bowl a strike with your body. Like, that's a violation. And that's what I sound like, Daniel, that is a violation. Like, you can't just be going around saying that. And then Noah's like, what'd you say, bro? Like, what'd you say? You trying to get up in my face? And Daniel's like, yeah, bro, you want to talk smack? I'll talk smack right back to you. Like, it goes 2 ways. And at this point, I started getting between them. I'm like, yo, guys, chill out. Like, just stop. And I was like, nah, bro, this kid just called me a bowling ball. And at that point, I started laughing. I'm like, okay, well, I'll be honest, Noah. He's kind of right. And then Noah backs up a little bit. He's like, man, F you guys. Like, I hate you guys. Like, I'm going to my class. And then he storms off in anger and just leaves. And then Daniel sits there and doesn't really say anything because he kind of realizes that if he said something, like, Noah would probably come back and try and fight him, and he didn't really want to get suspended. So that was the first encounter, right? So that was the first thing that happened, and that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. Like, imagine being called a bowling ball. That is the funniest thing. But then the next day comes around, right? And so basically, Noah and Daniel were in the same class for basically period 3 and 4. So the first start of the day was fine, right? Like, period 1 and 2 were fine. Everyone ended up going to recess, and so basically Noah and Daniel had period 3 and 4 together. Now, Daniel told me all the details after this, but basically what happened was is that in this English class now Daniel told me all about this later, but basically what happened was is that Daniel and Noah got put together in this English group assignment, which was probably the worst mistake by the teacher, because what ended up happening was that they both had to print out some stuff. So they both had to print out this like rubric or something. So basically the teacher sends out Daniel and Noah out on their own to the printer, which was the dumbest thing the teacher could have done because these two literally hated each other. So these two end up going out to the printer, and coincidentally, right, I had asked the teacher to go to the toilet, so I was also out in the hallway. So I was like in the hallway with them. So Daniel and Noah were walking down one way and I was walking up the other way. Daniel spots me and goes, yo, Ricky, what's up? Like, what's going on? I said, yo, Daniel, what's going on? And then Noah ends up sitting there and going, he literally goes, yeah, shut up, Ricky, shut up, Daniel. No one cares. Like, no one likes either of you. And I said, Noah, mate, literally shut up. Like, who in this school likes you? Like, name one person. He's like, oh, yeah, what? You want to talk smack? Everyone here likes me, bro. And no one here likes you. And it shows. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this kid, right? Like, he's been talking smack about my friend. He keeps pushing my friend around, and now he's pushing me around. So I end up getting in his face. I'm like, mate, you are literally the biggest person in the school. Like, shut your mouth. And I say the same thing that Daniel said a few days ago, and I literally said, mate, I could pick you up and bowl you down this hallway right now. Which, keep in mind, right, was probably a very immature thing for me to say, but keep in mind, right, I was also 15 at the time, so I don't regret saying it. It was kind of funny. And then Noah ends up getting in my face. He's like, yo, what'd you say to me? Like, what'd you just say? I'm like, yeah, you heard me, bro. I could bowl you down this alley. And then Noah literally, and then I can see Noah, right? I can see him pull his arm back. Like, he literally closes his fist and pulls his arm back. And then at this point, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm screwed. But you know what? I'll take the fall, right? I'll take the fall for Daniel. I just said the funniest thing on the planet. I'll take the fall for Daniel. But then all of a sudden, right, this kid gets slammed to the ground. And then I see Daniel right on top of him. I see Daniel literally grab Noah and just like put him against the locker. This kid's reflexes were insane. As soon as he saw Noah pull his arm back, bro, he was right onto him. And then Daniel literally grabs Noah, and while he's restraining him, is like, listen here, you fat bitch. Don't you dare try and hit Ricky. And I'm like, oh my god, no, there is no way this is happening right now. Now, Daniel, like, he's not the biggest guy. Like, he probably weighs like 20 kilos less than this Noah kid, but he for some reason ended up restraining him and putting him against the locker, which was literally the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Like, this kid Noah was like, get off of me, bro. Like, get off me. I hate you, bro. Like, you're such a pussy. And Daniel's like, yeah, I'm a pussy. I'm literally restraining you right now. Like, you literally can't move. And then after this, right, Noah, while getting like pinned down, like holds his arm back, right? He closes his fist and then he tries to launch at Daniel. And at this point, right, Daniel had enough. He's like, nah, bro, I'm sick of you. Like, I tried to restrain you. I tried to be civil, but I'm done with you. So then Daniel literally picks Noah up. I have no idea how he did this. He must have had so much adrenaline flowing through him. He picks him up, and I saw this with my own eyes. He picks him up and just plants him onto the floor. So basically, right, he picked him up and he like swung his legs from under him, meaning that like he couldn't stand back up when he fell. He literally just plumped his ass onto the floor. He literally got sat down. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And obviously, right, this made a very, very big noise, right? Like there were probably 3 teachers at this point who had heard this. And then instantly I see three classroom doors open, including the one that Noah and Daniel were in before. And basically there were a bunch of teachers yelling out saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing in the hallway? What are you guys doing? Like, come over here. I need to talk to you guys about this." And then all of a sudden the principal for some reason comes around the corner and says the same thing. Like, "Yeah, you guys gotta come with us. Like all you 3 in my office right now. Like, what are you guys doing?" So basically all 3 of us end up going into the office, and at this point me and Daniel are laughing at each other. Like we're giggling. I'm just looking at him like, "Yo, you just beat the absolute shit out of him. That was the funniest thing ever." So we all end up going into the principal's office, and the principal ends up going to Noah and saying, "Okay, Noah, what happened? Like, what's going on?" And Noah, this stupid little rat, this little kid, ends up going, "Okay, yeah, Daniel just decided to randomly hit me for no reason." And then I speak up, I'm like, No, shut your mouth, Noah. You've been harassing both of us for the last 2 months, and then Daniel had finally had enough of your shit, so he grabbed you and he put you on the floor. You literally just got sat right on the floor. And the principal goes, "All right, Ricky, hold up. Like, chill out for a second. Like, there's no need to use that language." And I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm not having this kid's crap. He literally has been harassing us for 2 months, and then he just comes here and gets slapped, and now he's gonna complain about it." And then the principal's like, "All right, Ricky, if you're gonna use this language, can you get out of my office for a little bit?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll get out." And now after this, Daniel basically told me, after this, he basically got asked the same question, like, what happened, and he explained the truth, right? And then the principal says, "All right, so you 2 are both suspended because there's no fighting on school property." So they both ended up getting suspended for 2 days, right? Which was kind of annoying. But then the worst part is that Daniel had to spend 3 lunchtimes, right? 3 lunchtimes picking up rubbish, and all Noah had to do was pick up rubbish for 1 lunchtime. Like just go around the yard picking up rubbish for one lunchtime. This kid had literally been harassing both of us for 2 months, and then ended up getting a weaker punishment, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. I ended up getting left off the hook. Like, I literally didn't end up getting any punishment, probably because I didn't really do anything. I sort of just sat there and did nothing. So yeah, moral of the story: don't be like Noah, and also don't instigate violence, because it's never a way to sort out an argument. But also, if you're getting pushed around, you have a right to self-defense, and if someone pushes you, I give you full permission to just absolutely clotter them. Yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching the video. If you guys want to send in story times, go to my Instagram, @GliderGuideYT, and you can send in your story times there. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.